Morning, this is Brian. Today is Tuesday, November 14th, 2023, and I'm here parked off of Farmer Road in the Julian area, San Diego County. Today, my plan is finally to hike Volcan Mountain. So, look at the pear tree. Ooh, look at that pear tree changing color. Oh, this is an apple and pear orchard. So here we got apples. Good old Malus pumila, beautiful apple tree. How beautiful is that? They almost look like Red Delicious, almost. I don't think they are. And then we have a pretty close relative of the apple, the pear. Paris communis. Pretty nice. So I'm not going to really talk super loud over here because these are orchards and people live in this area. But I'm finally planning to hike Volcan Mountain, 5,353 feet. If time and energy allows, I want to hit a neighboring peak just to the north, unnamed peak, peak 5360 plus. Beautiful morning here. If my voice sounds really crazy, well, I'm getting over a head cold. It's been bugging me for the last few days. So my voice is not very strong today. Ooh, look at this. Gooding's black willow changing color for autumn. Salix Goodingy, very beautiful. There's the wilderness preserve just up ahead. So that's why I'm trying to keep my voice down for now. Beautiful blue Atlas cedars. I think these are Atlas cedars. Cedrus atlantica glauca. Oh, can't tell. Oh, beautiful fall color over here too. What do we have? What's that in there? Is that a Norway maple? I think that might be Acer platanoides. Either that or this is sycamore maple. I gotta double check. I get those two confused. I think this is Acer platanoides. Or is this Acer pseudoplatanus? I gotta double check. Yeah, this is a tree you see planted a lot where I used to live in New Jersey. Pretty cool. And they got, I think they got red maple in there. They got, I think, white mulberry. And I got some beautiful fall color here. Ooh, I'll wait till I get around the sun here. But look at the Lombardy poplars. Where I live in the lowlands, usually they don't get this brilliantly colored in autumn. But yeah, and where nights get colder in fall, Lombardy poplars turn a golden yellow just like a quaking aspen. And they're related to that, of course. So, there it is, Volcan Mountain Wilderness Preserve. I'm going to get over there and see the Hubble gate. Beautiful. These people got some beautiful fall color trees in their property. There's some maple trees and everything. We're about 4,100 feet in elevation here in San Diego County. Things are a little different here than they are in the lowlands. The entrance portal, signed by James, I think it's James Hubble. Ooh, Western Redbud. Cercis occidentalis. All right. Wow. This is a huge coffee berry. Wow, this is a big one. Frangula californica subspecies tomentella. This is a monster. Wow. It's a huge coffee berry. There were restrooms here. I gotta use it before I go. But what do we have here? Point leaf manzanita, Arctostaphylos pungens. Yeah, looks like the botany is going to be pretty insane today. Yeah, these are big too. These are very big. These are huge manzanitas. Yeah, this is Arctostaphylos pungens. Wow. So I think what I want to do is head up the road, and then I think I'm going to take the Five Oaks Trail, which will later meet up back at the road, and then work my way to the summit of Volcan, and maybe peak 5360 if it's not cordoned off by private property. We'll see how that works. Canyon live oak already. There's supposed to be several types of oaks here. All right. So this is Julian. Very beautiful around here. So the oak diversity here is supposed to be pretty insane. So here's hoping for some great oak footage today. All right, so I'm working my way up this. Lots of huge old point leaf manzanitas here. Beautiful. Wow, very nice. Big ones. Big point leaf manzanitas up here. Lots of large old growth ones. You can see Farmer Road way down there. Way down there. Pretty come up a little ways. Okay. We're at the first huge canyon live oak of the day. Oh, look at this one. This is a magnificent canyon live oak right here. Magnificent large base tree. This is a magnificent tree. Wow. This is an incredible tree right here. Wow. Lots of younger ones here too. There's a magnificent tree right here. I guess they get huge over here too. Shouldn't be surprised. Very interesting. Looks like there's a placard up ahead. We'll take a look at that and see what that has to say. So it's supposed to be at least 5 different types of oak here. Hybrids probably make it more than 5 though. I wouldn't be surprised if there are more than 5 different types of oaks here. Well, this is about the cougars or the mountain lions. Yeah. Crazy. Alright, so we're in an open woodland. Well, actually, it's a fairly closed woodland. Canopies are broad. These canyon live oaks are forming a nice canopy over here. So, I think I found the 5 Oaks trail. I think I found it already. So I think I'm going to go up that and then just take the road all the way back. This will eventually meet with the road again. So here's a 5 Oaks trail right here. So we're going to branch off to the right. Alright. I'll be coming back this way most likely. Pretty neat. Very neat. All right. So, let's see how many oaks I count. Will it be the 5? Well, first of all, of course, canyon live oak, which will probably be the most numerous type I come across. These huge manzanitas. My gosh, these are magnificently large specimens of the point leaf. Point leaf seems to be the dominant one here. All right, so on the oak counter, we're at 1 canyon live oak. But I imagine that tally will go up pretty soon. So we'll take this and check it out. Okay, I'm at the second type of oak. This looks like Quercus acutidens. Tory scrub oak, unless it's Quercus berbertifolia. This might probably Quercus acutidens here. And skunk brush, Rus aromatica, still got some fall color on it. But yeah, so that's 2. The tally's up to 2. And here's more of that Rus aromatica here. Still with just a little taste of fall color left on it. All right, I'll find you at the next type of oak. Hopefully soon. So yeah, we're at canyon live oak and scrub oak. And again, this is probably Quercus acutidens. Okay, we'll see what else we find here on the 5 Oaks Trail. All right, oak number 3. Here's a little specimen right here. California black oak, Quercus kalagi. More right here. The ones that are leafless already, leafless for winter dormancy. So we're at 3 oaks now. So we're 60% of the way through the hopefully aptly named 5 Oaks Trail. So yeah, these are California black oaks here. Already shed most of their leaves for winter on this nice, beautiful November morning. So we're at 3 types of oaks now. I'm hoping to count more than 5. I'm hoping. Probably likely maybe some hybrid oaks too. So look at the views from up here. So I know right down by the parking area where I park down there, that's a Coast live oak, but that's not on the trail. That's all right. I'm at oak number 4. Speaking of Coast live oak, here we are. Quercus agrifolia variety Oxyodania, Southern Coast live oak. So we are now at 4. I'm expecting interior live oak. Nope, now I'm at oak number 5. And I was thinking about this one too. Engelmann oak, Quercus engelmannii. So we have now reached 5. I have a feeling there are going to be more. But we are now at 5. This is the Engelmann oak, Quercus engelmannii. We are now at 5. We have reached 5. Now we're at 6. I knew it was just a matter of time. Shrub interior live oak, Quercus wislezenii variety frutescens. So, whoever named this trail underestimated how many types of oaks we have, and I think that completes the formal species. But knowing the fact that we have interior live oak and California black oak and coast live oak, 3 different types of red oaks, I'm thinking there could be some hybridization. Where Quercus acutidens, the one I pointed out, is actually a hybrid. But it's a different oak. It's different than the other ones, so it counts. I want to point out Quercus acutidens is a hybrid between the Engelmann oak and the Mueller scrub oak that's more often found in the Laguna Mountains, closer to the precipice of the desert, like along the PCT. That's where you'll find Mueller scrub oak. Maybe here, maybe. And then, this is almost like the 7th oak, but this isn't a true oak. This is Western poison oak, Toxicodendron diversilobum, and it's all dormant and leafless for winter. So, but it's not a true oak. It's related to the cashews and mangoes, where oaks are related to chestnuts and beeches. So right now I'm thinking this is 6 oaks. But again, with California black oak, coast live oak, and interior live oak here, I wouldn't be surprised to either see gander oak, which is the hybrid between the Southern Coast live oak and the California black oak, or Oracle oak, hybrid between the interior live oak and the California black oak. So we'll see. So right now we're at 6, and I'm loving it. So we'll call this a cheers to the oak diversity of California. Here's an interesting sight. The top of this chamise bush has got flowers on it in November. That's pretty interesting. Again, I wonder if the rains we got from Tropical Storm Hilary back in August kind of jump-started them to bloom again. But yeah, the top, you can see on the top of the twigs, you see some panicles of white flowers. So, chamise, yeah, a few blooms on the chamise. Really cool. And looks like we got some more coast live oak coming up. There's a lot of scrub oak here too. Really nice. Yep. This is a very diverse trail. We got some Southern Coast live oak here. Some more acutidens over here. Again, there's still a possibility that some of these acutidens, or what I assume are acutidens, could potentially be Berbertifolia as well. That is a possibility as well. Some of these could be Quercus berbertifolia. Quercus acutidens is pretty variable in its growth. It could be medium green, or it can even be grayish green like Engelmann oak and Mueller scrub oak. I'm not sure if this is an Acutidens or an Engelmann oak. Some of these really thicket-like ones with the grayer leaves that look more like Engelmann oaks could potentially just be huge Acutidens as well. Because again, Engelmann oak is a parent of the Acutidens hybrid. So sometimes it's not always so cut and dry. I'm not experienced down to the molecular and DNA letters. So that's kind of where my experience is lacking. But I assume that some of these shrubbier looking Engelmann oaks, quote unquote, might actually be Acutidens as well, because they can get to small tree size. Like this right here. This is a very large one. This has got to be an Acutidens. Yeah, this is not an Engelmann. No, this looks like an Acutidens. The bark is very similar on Acutidens and Engelmann oak. Very similar. Because, again, and in also Mueller scrub oak, they're all closely related white oaks. So, this is an Engelmann oak here. This has got to be an Engelmann oak. Boy, yeah, some of these shrubbier ones are not so cut and dry. I find it so fascinating how oaks can be so confusing. It just makes them even more amazing. So you're looking at the higher ramparts of the Volcan Mountains over here. Most of that is on Native American reservation land. So that's off limits for hikers, as far as I know. Well, now it's getting dry from talking a lot. Again, as I said earlier in the video, I'm getting over a head cold, so I'm still kind of in the congested phase. So my voice is going to sound a little weird. Hopefully I don't lose my voice later. You know, I like to talk a lot on my videos. Alright, well, give the video a rest and keep you updated. If I find any oracle oak or gander oak or whatever, I'll most certainly let you know. It's a very beautiful specimen of hollyleaf redberry. Very thick, dense shrub here. Good old Rhamnus ilicifolia. It's a very thick one. Pretty nice sized specimen too. Believe it or not, it's a pretty common shrub in Southern California, except in coastal San Diego County. Normally, don't see it there for some reason. Usually, spiny redberry, its cousin, is there, Rhamnus crocea. And here's the redberry cousin. This is Frangula californica subspecies tomentella, the hoary coffeeberry, which used to be known as Rhamnus tomentella. Coffee berries used to be in the genus Rhamnus before they were reassigned to Frangula. So, another relative. And they were all related to the Ceanothus. Very common, diverse genus of shrubs here in California. I think California is the epicenter. Ooh. Dang, I thought I saw a rentet. I almost got it on camera. I think it was a rentet. It was about the size of a rentet. It's a bird flying around. Alright. Let me keep going up and some more black oaks here. And we'll see what else I find. Okay, time for our next botanical curiosity of the day. Okay, well, here's some very old thickets of poison oak right here. Toxicodendron versalobum. These are very old. These are all trunks of the poison oak. How insane is that? Wow. Yeah. There's another one here, right behind. Those are old. That's what the trunks. Oh, these are dead trunks. So this plant has resprouted a few times, but they have mosses or lichen on them. Yeah, those are old. Behind it looks like there's a western chokecherry behind it though. But yeah, that's a very old poison oak thicket. That is interesting. All right. Oh, we look over towards the Cuyamaca Mountains over there. Cuyamaca Peak's that pointy one in the middle. And there's North Peak, and the Laguna's over there. So, yeah, not even near the top, and the views at least for at least 100 degrees are really, really impressive. I'm expecting it's going to be really bonkers near the top. I think the peak, the 5353, summit 5353, is called Volcan Mountain. And then there's that random peak. I think it's north of it. I think it's hemmed in by the trees, but I think on the top of Volcan, I'm expecting some out of control views to unfold for us. So I'll see when I'm further up. It's a very beautiful trail. Very interesting trail too. Beginning to think that Oracle Oak might be coming up any minute. I mean, now the predominant tree is a California black oak, Quercus callagii, but yet interior live oak's been popping up too, and this is a shrub variety, Quercus wooslezeni variety for Tessins. So black oak plus interior live oak makes Oracle Oak. So I'm expecting any minute to see an Oracle Oak. So I'm seeing more interior live oaks, so I think the likelihood of me seeing a 7th oak is gaining steam right now. Now we're starting to get some Palmer Ceanothus. Ceanothus palmeri starting to pop up too. And starting to see a few of these ones coming up. And then another Ceanothus leucodermis, chaparral whitethorn. Those are starting to pop up too. So, still hiking up this Five Oaks Trail. Parts of this trail kind of steep, so this will give you a very good workout. But for those times where you're huffing and puffing, around each corner, there's another little sylvan glen of oaks. What a surprise. I mean that jokingly. So the count is still at 6. So 5 species and 1 hybrid, or 1 likely hybrid. Either other than that, or if it's the herbifolia, then it's 6 species, but I'm at 6 types of oak. Let's make it 7. Come on, Oracle Oak, let's go! Alright, well, I'll keep working my way through this. Keep you posted. Any minute now I'm going to see Oracle Oak. I can feel it. I knew it was a matter of time. I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. I knew it was a matter of time. Found Oracle Oak, Quercus marejus, hybrid between interior live oak and California black oak. I just knew it was a matter of time. Once I started seeing more interior live oak mixing in, yeah, here it is. Again, intermediate characteristics between our black oaks and interior live oaks. This one has some shallow lobes in the leaves. And this one looks like it's going to be probably at least half to mostly evergreen. Evergreen being the interior live oak, as opposed to being deciduous, like the California black oak shedding its leaves in fall. Excuse me. I knew it was a matter of time. So we are at 7 types of oaks right now. I have found 7 different types of oaks. At least 5 of them are hybrids, and at least 5 of them are species, regular species, and at least one of them is the hybrid. But I'm pretty sure if Quercus berbertifolia is here, then I know it's going to be at least 8, because some of these oaks I can pretty much willing bet are acutidens. But yep, finally found an oracle oak. I knew it was a matter of time. I knew it was coming. I could feel it. So this is more like the 7 oaks trail, in my humble opinion. And we got another oracle oak over here, kind of out in the sun, but this one here has still got a lot of leaves on it. That's a larger oracle oak right there. So yeah, so there's at least 2 oracle oaks I've seen up here now. Okay, knew it was coming. Said I could feel it. I could feel it deep down inside. Some more poison oak, all dormant for winter. All right, well, that might be an oracle oak over there too. Yeah, I think that's a full-blown oracle oak tree. See, the interior live oaks here are typically the shrubby variety frutescens. Quercus wisselzeni frutescens. So, of course, the California black oak is predominantly a tree. So a lot of times, the oracle oak hybrids from the two tend to be smaller and scrubbier. But yeah, that's actually a full-blown tree right there. It's a small tree. That's got to be an oracle oak because it's predominantly green. The rest of these black oaks are mostly dropped most of their leaves already by now. So, okay, I'll take it. Some oracle oak here too. So, if berbertifolia and acutidens are 2 scrub oaks here, then that actually means, if that's the case, then that means I've seen 8 different types of oaks. So it's possibly an 8th oak here. So, all right, I think I'm just about to crest this hill here, and I'll see you at the next stop. Okay, so I've come up quite a ways so far. Now we're looking down to Banner Canyon, right down here. You can see some big cone Douglas fir popping up too. It's these coniferous trees right here. And I can see Highway 78 winding down towards Banner. This place doesn't open until 8 a.m. so I got here super early because I dropped a coworker off at work and figured I'd get an early start today. Originally, I was gonna go up to Ranchita and do San Isidro Mountain, but I don't know if my body would be able to handle all the rock scrambling and rough terrain, especially after being under the weather for the last few days. So kind of changed my plans again. So again, I'm putting off San Isidro Mountain. That's a mountain peak that's just in Anza-Borrego Desert State Park, where you start hiking, depending on where you start hiking. If you start hiking from Cherry Canyon, the north end of Ranchita, you'll be starting out in BLM land, Bureau of Land Management. And then you'll enter the state park. And Western Chokecherry. Some very beautiful thickets of it here. Some nice tall thickets of Prunus virginiana variety demissa. And more skunk brush. Of course, now that we're in mid-November, kind of past the peak of its fall color. Some of them still had some leaves on them, but for the most part, Yeah, they're mostly leafless now for winter, as is the chokecherry. So I think I'm approaching the junction with the road. So I'll see you when I'm over there. All right, so I'm about to join the road again. So I'm ending the Five Oaks Trail. So here's the road. So when I go back, I'm going to take the road to vary the scenery. Because whenever I can, I try to make loops out of my hikes. Plus, some more beautiful oak woodland down that way. So here's a sign for the summit. Got about a mile, 1.2 miles left to go. And we're coming up on incense cedar popping up now. And I got some incense cedar popping in, so it looks like it's about to get interesting at a even higher level now. I mean, it's already been extremely interesting, to be honest with you, but it looks like it's going to ante up even more. All right, so it's fire road the rest of the way. So eventually, I'm going to come up to a split. And at that split, I'm going to be going right. I think that split is supposed to be called Simmons Flat. I think that's where it is. I've heard of Simmons Flat. So if you bank a right, it'll take you to 5,353 foot Volcan Mountain. If you bank left, I think it takes you to an little old historic site. And behind that is a 5,360 plus foot summit that's unnamed. So, like a peak climber, I'm going to try to see if I can get to both, if I have the energy. Again, I'm still feeling under the weather, so no guarantees, but we'll see. I think the one summit is supposed to be over that way. And I believe it has, if I remember correctly, I think it was supposed to be an area for the Hale telescope, I believe, before it eventually ended up at Powell Mountain. I believe that's where the Hale telescope was supposed to originally go, or at least one of the spots it was supposed to go, before being reassigned to Powell Mountain. And that would be if I've taken the left fork. And I do think that is publicly accessible. I don't know if it's part of the nature preserve where I am now, but I've seen other people's videos. I think even Hiking Guy's gone over there, and he's I definitely trust him to trust his videos to not go in unsanctioned places, because I do not like to trespass. I do not like that, even if it means me having to quit going to a summit that I really wanted to visit. If it's blocked off by private property, I try to stay on the straight and narrow when it comes to that. And Hiking Guy, so definitely practices a respectful hiking practice, for lack of a better term. I think his video, he went over there too. So I'm gonna check that out. All right, so I have about a mile left to go to get to the summit of Volcan. Oh, we got some big canyon live oaks back here too. Oh boy. Some really thick ones. No chance in heck of me trying to go over there. Because I see poison oak mixing in with, there's gooseberry or some type of, there's a gooseberry in here. Gooseberry in here, but it's also poison oak in there. So as much as I would love to get to the base of those canyon live oaks, see how thick their trunks are, I'm good. Very beautiful trail. We're getting snowberries popping up. Very cool. This is such a beautiful trail. Really cool. All right, well, I'll see you at the next interesting find. Well, here it is. Western bracken fern. Therium aquilinum variety pubescens. Okay. Turning gold for fall to go for their winter rest. All right. Now I'll keep going. All right. So, next stop on the botanical tour of Volcan Mountain Wilderness Preserve. We're entering a thick forest here. And the first up close of the day of the incense cedar, Calocaedrus decurrens. Now, I saw them off in the distance. I pointed them out previously in the video. But now, here we are, actually hiking with them. Unfortunately, that I'm stuffed up, I'm not going to be able to enjoy the fresh smell of it. But now we just got into this really dark forest with some small but very picturesque incense cedars, and then now we're getting some big canyon live oaks again. Very awesome. Went right into this shady forest. Some really big canyon live oaks. The incense cedars aren't extremely large, but some of them definitely been around for a while. I think what happens is, I think it's supposed to be one of the windiest places in San Diego County. So I noticed that some of these incense cedars are actually kind of swept back. You see here, you can see the incense cedars are swept back that way on the leeward side of the wind, prevailing wind. So there are times when this mountain gets slammed with heavy wind action. So that's why these incense cedars are probably more stunted in size. Plus, it's a little bit drier here than places like Palomar. But wow, very beautiful. Calocaedrus decurrens. All of a sudden, boom, you go through these nice oak woodlands, and you're on these grassier, more open, savanna-like slopes with scattered trees, and then boom, right, you round a corner, and you're in a pocket of incense cedar. Of course, I knew to expect seeing it on the hike because I've watched several other people's hiking videos, and that shows up. But yeah, you know me, I love my incense cedars. You know me, I think very highly of them. Of course, I'll say that about any tree I talk about, but that's not important. What's important to me is what I'm hoping is important to anybody viewing this video is the beauty of the woods and forest. All right, we're going to get ready to hit another pocket right here. Some nice older canyon live oaks. All right, well, let's see what we find in here. All right, so I'm back in the shade of incense cedar again. And of course, some nice gnarly canyon live oaks. So, yeah. Even that broad crown tree, that's an incense cedar too. Yeah, I think the reason why they're not so tall here is probably because of the wind that blows here probably keeps them from getting extremely tall. But now we're getting a very densely packed stand of incense cedars in this little section. Some canyon live oak mixing in, of course. More canyon live oak on this side of the trail, though. Some beautiful canyon live oaks, too. Wow, yeah. Fortunately, I'm not able to smell probably what is probably an incredible fragrance right now due to my congestion. But, wow. Yeah, really cool. All right. Let's see. Let's see what else there is. Well, I believe I'm at what is Simmons Flat. Well, I'm not going to be able to head to that summit. I think 5360 is over here somewhere. Of course. The old bit here. So I'm coming up to a preserve closed beyond this point sign. So I think this was the way I was going to go to hit peak 5360, but it's closed. So much for that. So yeah, this was the split I was talking about. Going left, if you're coming from this way, going left would take you towards peak 5360. This will take us towards peak 5353, which is Volcan Mountain. So it looks like it's going to be a one summit day today, unfortunately. A little disappointed. I was hoping to go for a twofer today. Really hoping for a twofer. I was really confident it was going to happen despite not feeling so hot. Still, I mean, I feel better today than I was, but... Okay, I think this is where the observatory is. Or what was going to be the observatory. Yeah, this is it over here. For some reason, I thought it was what was going to be over there on that peak. But no, it's over here, actually. So, the videos I saw, including hiking guide, actually came over here instead of going over there. So yeah, this is where it was supposed to be. So it was this was one of the original locations for it. And all that's left is a chimney and a few pieces of metal. So this was going to be the observatory here, but then eventually they said, we're going to take it on Palomar. So beautiful canyon live oak grove here. So that's where I just came from, the road. Yeah, so I guess it's a no-go heading up to peak 5360. I've seen that on Peak Bagger. That's why I was really hoping to take a stroll over that way too, but I guess today will be a one summit day. So I'm going to be heading up that way. I'm going to get back on the road, the old dirt road. So I'm assuming this is Simmons Flat right here. This should be it here. I'm going to be heading up that way to the peak. All right, here I go. All right. So, still working up my way, ascending this grassy knoll here towards Volcan Summit. So there's an interpretive display and a viewfinder. Again, views are already pretty spectacular as it is. At least we got a good 180 degrees of awesome here. All right, and it's got landmarks. Hispy viewing. Oh, yeah, I can see it through the binoculars. All right. Yeah, I'll be pointing out these myself later on. And I'll be pointing these out pretty soon. Oh, okay. I've always wondered where Black Mountain is. So, Black Mountain is that one there. So that's the Black Mountain in Ramona, near Ramona. I always wondered. I never could pick it out. I never knew what it looked like. I never been on it, never been near it. So that's Black Mountain in Ramona. That's what we call in San Diego County Big Black Mountain at 4,051 feet. So that's it right there. That's what they call Big Black Mountain, or Black Mountain Ramona. Part of Cleveland National Forest, and you can get up there on a dirt road. You can either hike it, or if you have good four-wheel drive, you can drive it too. Now, Wait a minute, I don't need to zoom out yet. Now, looking over here, see right there is Volcan Mountain. Right next to it, way off in the distance behind it, is Little Black Mountain in Rancho Penasquito, San Diego, at 1,552 feet. Again, I'm going to be pointing out more of these when I'm up there, because I can pick out quite a few of these landmarks. But yeah, so now I know where now I know it. Now that's Black Mountain near Ramona. Okay, so at least I found out something I didn't know before. All right, eventually I want to hike it. I want to climb it one day. I think it's about a 14 mile round trip hike with about 3,000 or so feet of elevation gain. So try to keep on building up my stamina for longer hikes. That would definitely be a good one. All right, well, I'm gonna go back on the road. See you when I'm nearing the peak. I think I'm almost at the top. I think there might be a little bit more at the end there, but I think I'm getting close. Pretty cool. Since I've never been over here, I'll get to point out some more landmarks that I'll get to point out from other spots. Because this mountain range is a lot of times in front. There's another interpreter sign over there too. I think on the way back down, I'll probably go hit that one up and see if I can figure out some more of these backcountry peaks that I don't know too well. Some of these I can pick out easily, but some of them definitely not. All right, I should be approaching the summit very soon, I think. Just had a nice brief flat stretch as we're about ready to enter a nice wind-trimmed canyon live oak grove here. Yeah, these trees are very short because of the wind. That's the reason why these trees are so short. Probably why those incense cedars down there were that way, because winds are supposed to be howling up here at times. These are very, very, very beautiful trees. All right. Should be summiting soon, I believe, but I'll keep you updated. Oh yeah. Okay, just about to summit Volcan Mountain. Now, the actual high point of this is going to be nestled in these canyon live oaks. There's even a picnic bench here. I'm going to drop off my backpack here, so I might have to do a little maybe a little bit of bushwhacking to get up here. The summit's going to be in here, so at the actual apex, you're not going to be able to get any real views, but all right, let's keep eyes out, as there is poison oak over here, of course. Yeah, there's some poison oak here on the bit here, so just watch where I'm walking. I should be summiting this in a few seconds. Oh, I can hear I think that's a red-shouldered hawk screeching in the forest. And a scrub jay, I think. All right. Well, let me see if I can get over here without finding poison oak. So I am just about to summit this for the first time in my life. There's poison oak all over the summit, so I'm not going to step on it. Let's see. So, here it is, Volcan Mountain, 5,353 feet. I am not walking over there. That's all poison oak. Thank God I know what it looks like when it's dormant in winter. So this is it. Volcan Mountain. So if we're going to talk about views, I'm going to have to leave the actual summit area. So, finally made it up here to Volcan. Really happy I finally made it up here. So this is the summit area of Volcan Mountain. 5,353 feet. Nestled in this little copse of canyon live oak thickets. Very beautiful. So if we're going to look at views, I'm going to have to leave the summit area. Probably go over by where that placard is so I can give you some views looking off towards the more interior side. And then a little bit further down, give you views towards the coastal side. So let me get out of here. Like I said, just be careful. There's poison oak over here. And it's leafless for winter, so come up here in November, between November and April, expect them to be leafless. Okay, that was not a scrub jay, that was a Steller's jay. I can hear the Steller's jay calling right now. So scrub jays have that similar cawing, crow-like cawing as well. These kind of sound similar, but then the Steller's jay goes, which you just heard before. All right, let's make sure I don't step on any of this poison oak here. All right. Yeah, right there, that twig right there, that's poison oak. Yep. Sure is good to know what it looks like. So I'm gonna head down here, and I'm gonna go take a break and get some more liquids in me. And then we'll go to a spot and start looking at some views. So I'm gonna start looking at some of the views here on Volcan Mountain. So I'm gonna have to kind of break it up into separate clips because the summit area is very well wooded. And that is not coming from a complaining frame of mind. So, we're going to be looking off to the southwest over here. There's a lot of stuff here to point out. I'm not familiar with all the backcountry areas of San Diego County. So we're looking kind of in a south to southwest. South being about here, southwest more this way. But there's a lot of interesting terrain. I know I pointed out from other peaks. So let's look a little bit more to the southwest. So right over there is El Cajon Mountain at 3,675 feet. Then, as we start working our way over a little bit more southerly, south by southwest, there's San Miguel Mountain over between Jamul and Chula Vista at 2,565 feet. And that pyramid-shaped one that's pretty prominent there is Viejas Mountain at 4,187 feet. Then, looking at the ridge immediately left of it, that ridge in the far background is where Otay Mountain is at 3,566 feet. And then you might get a little glimmer of Lion's Peak there at 3,741 feet. Then some jagged, rugged peaks over there. And that's out towards Gaskell and Lawson Peaks. And then closer at hand, right there, that pointy one there is Cuyamaca Peak. The hill next to it is where Cherry Flat is, and that's the north shoulder of Cuyamaca Peak. You can't really see it, but in front of Cuyamaca Peak, you could, in person, you'd be able to see Middle Peak. And then there's North Peak right there. So this is looking more towards the south, and this is more towards the southeast. And other views I'm going to be pointing out in subsequent clips. So I took a nice rest, had some small apples, some peanuts, small snack, actually a pretty decent snack. So I'm going to go on the other side, point out some more views. Before I venture over that way, wondering wondering if this is a relay or something. Some random, interesting tower-looking structure right next to where the summit picnic bench is. So I wonder this is telephone wires go underground here, so maybe it has something to do with that. Of course, we got these power lines across over the summit area. Come over here, you can read about some of our native avifauna. Over here has a nice list of birds. Some of which I don't think are native here. Some of them I've never heard of before. They're from different parts of the world. All right, I'm gonna keep migrating around so I can point out more views. Well, I guess before I do, there are a few things to explore around here on the summit area, of course. So here's another little side path leading into this little canyon live oak grove here. So don't worry, as I go along, I'll keep pointing out the views. I normally do the whole 360 thing on the summit, but here you got to move around to see summit view. So I will get to those because from certain vantage points, you get some really impressive roster views, roster-like views of our backcountry here in San Diego County. So here we are under another little copse of canyon live oaks. I love these squat compact ones too that grow here near the summit. They're so short because they're so windswept. And okay, so it looks like this power line goes down to Banner Canyon. So you got Banner Canyon there, and there's the town of Julian right there. And that's over towards Cuyamaca Rancho State Park. So, okay, now I can point out some more views to the south. It looks like there's a fire going on over in the Laguna Mountains. So now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so I can get some more views more to the south and even south-southeast over here. So that's the Laguna Mountain range. I can see right by where that plume of smoke is, to the left of it is Wooded Hill. I can see, I can see Monument Peak right at the cusp there. You can see it looks like Monument Peak there. I can see Garnet Peak underneath it. I can see Stonewall Peak right there next to North Peak, Cuyamaca Rancho. But yeah, I wonder if it's a prescribed burn. Probably a prescribed burn, so I guess when I leave, I probably better not go through Sunrise Highway. Maybe they have it closed off. I came through Sunrise Highway this morning, stopped off at Mount Laguna to try testing recording video in the dark. So that video should be out anytime. There's a cool little bench. I wonder if this was designed by Mr. Hubble, who designed the interesting gate. This has to have been designed by Mr. Hubble. He's designed a lot of stuff here in San Diego County. So yeah, looks like there's some kind of burn going on. Looks like it's northwest of Wooded Hill. Something's going on over there. I wonder. And Western Jimson weed, Datura wrightii, sometimes called thorn apple because of its spiky fruits. Some of them are still blooming too. There's quite a bit of this up here. Alright, now that I've explored this, now I'm going to start working my way back from the summit and pointing out more views along the way. Alright, start looking at some views. There's a lot of skunk brush here, Rus aromatica. There's a lot of it covering this hillside here. Man, if I came here a couple of weeks ago, it would have all been covered in red and scarlet. Been all fall colored, all full of fall foliage. Okay. So, that I believe is looking towards Whale Peak over there in Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. I think that might be S22 down there. It might be Highway S22, but I'm not sure unless that's a dirt road. Can't tell. I think it's paved. I'm not sure. All right. So now we're looking over towards the Santa Rosa Mountains, the southern Santa Rosa Mountains, including, let's see here. Time to zoom in. That's looking over towards Villager Peak at 5,756. That's Rabbit Peak at 6,640. And I think one of those is called Dawn's Peak, aka Lorenzen's Peak, aka Peak 6582. Should be one of those along the ridge. I'll get to these local ones in a minute. And then there's Toro Peak, the high point of the Santa Rosa Mountains, 8,716. And in that, in the far background next to it, is Santa Rosa Mountain itself. Okay. I'm wondering if Wilson Peak is one of these here. I'll just go over by the interpretive sign, but there's some people over there, so I don't want to bother them. I'll look at it later. Okay, so now, that's the far background stuff there. Now the more local stuff, right over here is the San Isidro Mountain Range right there. The highest one is that right there, which is San Isidro Mountain itself, which has a benchmark called a Cedro benchmark, and that high point is 6,147 feet. That was one of my original plans today, was to hike up there. I originally had that planned out, but when I didn't get much sleep last night and didn't get a very good night's sleep and still feeling a little under the weather, I figured that one, requiring some pretty tough cross-country hiking, would be something I'm going to have to once again put off, because I've been putting that one off for a long time. I even tried to go there once and got my car stuck in some dirt almost at the trailhead. But yeah, that's the San Isidro Range there. So that's that high point is San Isidro Mountain. That's peak 5882. There's a peak called the Thimble, which is kind of underneath it. You can't really see it too well. And there's a nice long ridge line. I think that's peak 6020. This is the foreground, not the background where Toro Peak is. And then there's Hot Springs Mountain over there. So right now we're looking north and northeast. So that's Hot Springs Mountain at 6,533 feet. That's the high point here in San Diego County. That's the high point. You can get permits to hike it, even though it's on Los Coyote Band of Indians land. You can reserve a permit online to hike that. And then closer, I believe that's the high point of the Volcan Mountains, which is a little over 5,700 feet. There's a little white structure on top of it. I think it's one of those VOR flight beacons or something. I think that's where the high point is. I think that's the high point of the Volcan Mountains. Again, that's a little over 5,700 feet. So yeah, we get some pretty good views, and I can see over towards the San Jacinto Range way off between Hot Springs and the higher Volcans over there. Looks like the San Jacinto Mountains. So yeah, this is more towards the southeast to the north. All right, well, I'll keep pointing out more views as they become available. All right, so I'm at the kiosk. So, let's see. Oh, I was right. That is Whale Peak. I've never seen it from that vantage point. Oh yeah, Granite Mountain. I should have remembered that was Granite Mountain right there. So let's see. So yeah, you can see basically out to Salt. You can see the Salton Sea pretty clearly. Well, not on camera, I guess, but I'm going to zoom in again. So I'm guessing that's Grapevine Mountain there, just under 4,000 feet. I'm wondering what this one is here. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe that's Wilson Peak. I don't know. I don't know where that is from here. But regardless, again, I'm looking at back out towards the San Isidro Mountains. I don't know if I pointed out, but there's a community under there. It's called Ranchita, and that was going to be where I was going to take the hike to get there. Yeah, right here, this was the other peak I was going to try to climb today. That right there is peak 5360 plus. In other words, between 5360 and 5400 feet in elevation. It's probably just a few, it's probably, I think it's barely 10 feet higher than this one here. But, so I don't know if that's going to be the high point of the Vulcans, or if that's the high point. One of those is going to be the high points. That one, or that one. So yeah, we get some more views. All right, so the road down there is actually S2. That's San Diego County S2, not S22. So that's S2. Pretty cool. All right, just had to point that out. So yeah, so those hills over there are part of the higher portion of the Volcan Mountain range. And again, that's, I think, Bureau of Indian Affairs land. So I think it's pretty much off limits for people who don't belong to the reservation. I don't think they're going to be able to, I don't think they're going to be granting permits to hike that. There's some places where you can get permits to hike, like Hot Springs Mountain. You can do that one. I was even flirting with doing that one pretty soon too. I was almost going to reserve a permit for today, but I don't know, maybe soon. Hopefully I'll be getting over this annoying cough soon enough. All right, so now we're looking out more towards the northwest. West and northwest. Well, that's looking over towards San Marcos, Vista, Oceanside. Now, I can see parts of Palomar Mountain behind these here. I'm going to zoom in. Right there is Palomar, part of Palomar Mountain, the northwestern part of it. Really far off in the hazy distance is Santiago Peak, the high point of Orange County, at 5,687 feet. Barely going to be visible here, but... And then I can see way off, I can see what looks like San Onofre Mountain over by Camp Pendleton, Marine Corps base. And again, there's Black Mountain in Ramona. So now I finally got a visual of that one. So yeah, that's Black Mountain in Ramona. And now we're going to start looking more towards the west and west-southwest. All right, the Powell range, including Woodson Mountain, North Iron Mountain, and Iron Mountain. 2 of 3 of those I've been to before. So yes, that's looking over towards the divide between, that range is basically the divide between Ramona on the backside, in other words, on our side, the interior side, and Poway on the coastal side of that. And there's another view towards El Cajon. Now I can even see Mission Trails Regional Park, including Coles Mountain. And I can see where Coles Mountain is, the Fortuna Mountain area. So yeah, and I can even see downtown way between El Cajon Mountain and Coles Mountain way out there. So, well, I think that pretty much covers the views pretty well. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to take the road the rest of the way back down to the car. So that is out of bounds for hiking. So I'm going to have to omit going to peak 5360. But I will go down the road. Instead of taking the Five Oaks Trail like I did on the way up, I'm going to close that little mini part of the loop by sticking to the road because there's some scenery there that I haven't seen on the way up. So I'm not going to film as much on the way down, but I will catch you up to speed with my progress and any other interesting finds I come across. So stick with me. This is probably another long video, but I hope to see some interesting scenery on the way down, which I pretty much will. Pretty much banking on that. All right, catch you on the way down. All right, so I'm back at this Y intersection. So there's the summit label. Preserve closed, so fortunately I have to leave you alone, Peak 5360. So I'm gonna go back to banking a left here, start working my way back down the road, back into these beautiful incense cedars again. And I think when I get past the upper junction, because there are two junctions with this road, two junctions with the Five Oaks Trail, because the Five Oaks Trail starts towards the bottom and then branches off from this road, and then towards the top it rejoins it. So this time I'm going to be sticking to the road so I can get some extra scenery on the way down. So now it's time to plunge into some pockets of shady canyon live oak and incense cedar forest. So let's go, incense cedars. Calosagers decurrens, and those are the really odd shaped seed cones that when they're closed they're shaped like duckbills, but when they're open they're split open really wide. So yeah, back into the incense cedars. Very nice day out here. Being that I do pack some extra pounds, I do sweat pretty easily, so I have been sweating. But the weather though is remarkable. Down where I live, it's still supposed to be around 80, 82 degrees down in the El Cajon Valley. And believe me, I'm getting tired of the warm weather. Getting very tired of it. But up here, I think it's in the 60s right now. It's supposed to be up, I think, in the mid to upper 60s, like around 66, 67 today. I think it's supposed to be the forecasted high in Julian at 4,200 feet above sea level. Right now, I think we're just about at the 5,000 foot contour, if not very soon. So I'll be dipping below 5,000 feet very soon, if not already. There are beautiful, beautiful incense cedars. I should be planting these more in the lowlands, because these actually can do pretty well, even in places like El Cajon or even parts of San Diego, even near the coast. I've seen them planted, and they may not have the vigor as they would up here in the mountains, but they're definitely doable. I've seen some pretty large specimens in Orange and even LA counties. Orange and LA counties. And I'm not talking about in the mountains, I'm talking about in the suburbs. So it's doable. Not to throw shade on Leland cypress, which is a hybrid between the Port Orford cedar and the Monterey cypress. They're gorgeous trees. Don't get it twisted. They're beautiful. They're fast growing. They produce shade really quickly, but they don't survive for very long because they're always catching diseases. The poor things. Feel bad for them, but I think maybe instead of a Leland cypress, and like I said, I'm not trying to throw shade on the Leland cypress because I don't like doing that with trees. I think incense cedar would be a better alternative. Probably not as fast growing, but definitely not as fast growing as Leland cypress. But I mean, imagine having your own California native tree that's probably better suited for the climate, even in the lower lands, than something that probably be better off in extreme coastal environments. But even incense cedar can be grown near the coast. I don't think I'd plant it right next to the ocean, but you can definitely plant it in the coastal cities. I've seen it in San Diego in a few places. I've seen it in Fullerton, Anaheim, Westminster, Orange County, Whittier, and LA County. So it's doable. The one I saw was in front of some junior high or high school in Whittier. Of course, somebody had to cut it all the way back and just irritated the heck out of me. But it was actually going to be a pretty big tree. So incense cedar is definitely doable in the lowlands. I highly recommend it because it's a native tree. It's an absolutely stunning, beautiful tree, and should be just fine. All right, that's enough of my PSA, public service announcement. Time to keep on going down. Catch you on the next clip. Now, I know I've been yammering on a lot about poison oak. Here's another plant you don't want to touch. This right here. This is hoary nettle, aka stinging nettle. Urtica dioica subspecies holoceracea. This is one you don't want to touch either. The difference is the rash doesn't sneak up on you like poison oak. Poison oak and other plants like poodle dog bush in other parts of the county, you touch it and you might not even realize you touched it until a couple days later, sometimes several hours to maybe even a couple days later, then you start getting the rash. However, this plant, it doesn't wait. It sneaks in, it slides in, and an instant burning sensation. I've experienced it once. The first time I went to Powell Mountain as a kid in 6th grade camp in 1993. And yeah, it burns. Yeah, all that fuzziness. Those are the hairs with the oils in them. And yeah, it burns, and it'll burn for maybe about an hour. Maybe, if I remember correctly. And I think we got bitter gooseberry up here too. It appears to be bitter gooseberry. I believe that's what this is. Yeah, sure looks like it. I don't think this is. Yeah, this can't be Sierra gooseberry because Sierra gooseberry doesn't grow this tall. So yeah, and there's more gooseberries in there, and then mixed in with it is western poison oak. So yeah, I know I've been yammering on a lot about it. Understand, I find it important to do my public service announcements during my hikes. But also poison oak can be enjoyed during fall when the leaves are changing brilliant red. So there's a two-edged sword there. All right, well, onward and downward. All right, so I'm back with the upper junction of the Five Oaks Trail. Right over here. So this is where I came out earlier. I came out from here and worked my way up this way. Now I'm going to take the road rest of the way. So here we go. Oh, it's going to get steep going down here. Steep and a little rocky, so just watch where you're going. All right, let's see what's in that nice little thicket of forest over there. All right, so now we're in the forest now. Well, it looks like a really small section though. There's some nice, hefty, big trunk canyon live oaks again. Yeah, some nice ones. Oh, this is nice and shady and cool. Doing this in the summer would probably be pretty tough because a lot of it is sun exposed, but you do get these little shady glens here and there. So when you get them, enjoy the heck out of them. That's a nice canyon live oak right there. Ooh, boy. That's a nice big based tree. I kind of saw that one from back there thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be an interesting little pocket here. Ah, what a gorgeous tree it is too. Well, looks like I'm about to come back out in the open again. Now I see a split here. Interesting. Okay, this is kind of interesting. So what are we doing here? Oh no, I don't think that's a trail. I think it's just a little, sometimes on the side of these dirt roads you have these little spurs. No, that's not even it. Okay, so no need for concern there. It's one of those little side spurs. I don't know what those are for. I see them on just about all dirt roads when I go hiking. All right, well, I'm going to continue down this way as I go down the road the rest of the way. Let's see what other gems I'm going to find. I'm sure it's going to get interesting again. Well, it never stopped getting interesting, to be honest, but who knows? The ante might be upped again. I just came across some humongous point leaf manzanita right here, aka Mexican manzanita, Arctostaphylos pungens. That's a monster. Wow. Oh, wow, these are big. Oh, man, that is awesome. Oh, wow. Oh, that's incredible. You haven't come across some big ones, but I think it's the tallest one I've seen today. And that one ain't no shirker in the size department either. Wow. I love when manzanitas get huge. Just another thing that adds to the magical flavor of this place, especially if you're a hiker slash amateur botanist. It's just another layer of awesomeness existing here. Yeah, like point leaf manzanitas are contenders for some of the larger species of manzanitas as well here in Southern California, besides big berry and pinkbract. So I guess got to give it up for the point leaf manzanita, aka Mexican manzanita. Both common names referring to Arctostaphylos pungens. All right, well, keep on going down. I'm sure some more awesome stuff will be coming into view soon, or even more awesome. So this has all been an awesome experience anyways. All right, I'm gonna have to get out my virtual pad and pencil because I have to add another thing to the list of awesomeness here on this hike. Toyon Heteromeles arbudifolia, right over here. Magnificent. Full of red, ripe pomes. Ready for the birds to be picking them off. Right in this little enclave of interior live oak, canyon live oak, and California black oak. So we're kind of close to the elevational limit for Toyon, though I have seen them a little above 5,000 feet in Cleveland National Forest, Santa Ana Mountains in Orange County, near Santiago Peak. I have seen a couple near the top, but what a magnificently beautiful shrub. And I still have a revamped spotlight video in the works. Probably within the next week or so, I'm going to finish recording it, because I recorded over the past 4 months, from summer blooms to fall fruits, so you can get an appreciation for it. Now, these canyon live oaks are interior live oaks. So these are interior live oaks. These are pretty big, but I think they're canyon live oaks. Yeah. I was thinking there was an interior live oak mixed in there. Would have been a full tree size one, but I can't get close enough to see. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that's a canyon live oak for sure, but that right there, I can't tell. I think it's a canyon live oak too. That's gonna have to remain a mystery, I guess. Downward and outward. Well, looks like the checklist of awesome keeps growing and growing. Here we are. I'm surprised I haven't seen much of this today. But now I'm starting to see some birchleaf mountain mahogany, or birchleaf cercocarpus, finally in the mix. All right, let's do this. Birchleaf mountain mahogany, cercocarpus betuloides, variety betuloides. Let's do this. Okay. All right. And I was kind of thinking to myself out loud, how many more big manzanitas am I going to come across today? Of course, I was thinking to myself, I hope many, many more. Well, there's some right there. Some more point leaf manzanitas, to be exact. And of course, oh, woodland strawberry. Okay. We have another one entering the chat right now. I thought this was poison oak in fall color, but it's Fragaria vesca, woodland strawberry in fall color. Beautiful. Fragaria vesca. And I was looking at common snowberry over here, Symphoracarpus albus variety livigatus. There's a lot of that here too. But I didn't point it out like a dummy. There's a lot of that along the hike, up and down. So, all right, well, the hits keep on coming. Hit me with more of this awesomeness, please. Let's keep this going. This hike down is just as interesting as the hike up. That's why I like to make loops when I can. All right, well, now we're getting more birchleaf mountain mahogany. So we got more Circocarpus betuloides, variety betuloides. So, okay. Let's see what the next find's gonna be. What's Mother Nature gonna hit me with next in this awesome scene? Oh, here's a big scrub oak right here. Ooh, this is a nice tall one. Yeah. You tell by those acorns. Those are definitely closer to Quercus. Those got to be Quercus acutidens. Yeah, here's a nice big Quercus acutidens right here. One of at least 7 types of oaks I've seen today. So earlier on when I was on the 5 Oaks Trail, I was like, this should not be called the 5 Oaks Trail. It should be at least the 7 Oaks Trail. Okay. Now, one of Engelmann Oaks. Well, Engelmann oak right here, Quercus engelmannii, one of the parents of Quercus acutidens. So yeah, so many oaks on this trail. But what's really also been getting to me are these monster manzanitas. And point leaf manzanita, that's the only species of manzanita I remember seeing today on the trail. Just magnificently huge these are. Oh, man. I cannot get enough of this. I've been gawking at these the whole time I've been hiking down. Yeah, I guess these can get about as big as pink-bracked and bigberry manzanitas. I guess they get to about the same size because some of these are just monstrous. Look at this. Yeah, I've really enjoyed this one a lot. Really enjoyed this hike a lot today. And I hope, probably despite my long video length, I hope that you guys have been enjoying this too. Because this is backcountry mania here. I love it. I love this hike. Okay, so I'm just about at the lower end, the lower junction with the 5 Oaks Trail. So I'm less than a half a mile away from the gateway. So I'm about a half mile away from the car now. Got about a half mile left. So starting to get that kind of sad feeling. It's getting towards the end of another hike. So yeah, that's the gateway. Here's the 5 Oaks Trail. So this is where I went earlier. Came up from this way, then went around and then rejoined it. So it says, please be safe, courteous, and respectful of Volcan Mountain. Enjoy your hike. Oh, I sure did. Believe me, I enjoyed the heck out of this. So the rest of this is going to be pretty familiar. Unless I catch something that I missed on the way out. Probably see you back near the car. Nice white sages over here. Look at these guys, beautiful. I love my Salvia apiana. Never had good luck growing that plant though. I've germinated a couple from seed and they did not get very far. And I've even bought one and it didn't last very long. For some reason I seem to have bad luck with sages, especially white sage. I've had a little bit of goodness with the little good luck with black sage. I've germinated that and had one get a few inches tall. But I seem to struggle with sage when it comes to growing plants. There's a magnificent stand of white sage covering this hillside here. Another awesome plant you get to experience here at Volcan Mountain Wilderness Preserve. And looking down in the valley here, all that fall color, definitely past the peak now that we're in mid-November. A lot of the trees are past their peak going into their leafless period. But all I can say is just what a magnificent hike. It feels so good to be out here today. Normally on the return leg of the hike, I'm usually, oh yeah, can't wait to get back to the car and sit down. It's always nice to sit down, and it'll be nice when I get back now, but kind of sad to see this hike end. It's been a magnificent day out here, and just full of wonderful vibes. So I'm just about back at the access road. Ooh, a ladybird beetle. Yeah, right on my shirt. Ladybird beetle. I think that's a 7-spotted ladybird beetle. I think 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think it's a 7-spotted ladybird beetle. I forget the genus name, but the common name, I mean the binomial or the epithet, I think is Septum punctatum. Yeah, a ladybird beetle. I heard it's supposed to be good luck when they land on you. I mean, I'm not a very superstitious person, but seeing a nice piece of nature like that, I think that's good luck in its own right. So yeah, right on my white t-shirt, a ladybird beetle. I gotta make sure the beetle comes off before I get to the car, because I don't want to accidentally take it home with me, because it needs to be out, he or she needs to be out here in nature. So when I get back closer to the car, I'm gonna gently get a small twig and try to coax it to walk on the twig so I can let it go. But pretty cool. All right, very beautiful here. It's the reviews. Most of the reviews you've read are right. It is an absolutely incredible place. All right, I will see you back down by the end momentarily. Love those Lombardy poplars. So big, tall. Probably close to 100 feet tall. Populus nigra italica. Can't get enough of these brilliant trees. Beautiful fall color. People who live here are lucky. There's some kind of pine. I think it's a ponderosa pine too in their yard. That was a purple leaf plum. I forgot about this one. Prunus cercifera atrapurpurea. Purple leaf plum. Very commonly planted in lowland SoCal. They don't seem to do so well. They might for a while, but it usually doesn't last very long. I forgot about this one on the way out. On the way in. I was too busy gawking at the fall color. But Paracantha coccinea, scarlet firethorn. Sometimes common ornamental. This is not native here. I think it's native to Europe or something. But just like our native toyon, they get these brilliant red pomes in mid to late fall, mid to late autumn. These are absolutely gorgeous. They're usually large shrubs, but sometimes a small tree. Well, this is basically going to do it for me, but maybe I'll take a few more seconds. Look at this again. So yeah, they look like berries, but these are pomes. Just like apples and pears and quinces and our native toyon. They're red fruits, so these are called pomes. They're core fruits. So these are fairly closely related to apples, pears, and of course our awesome toyon. Paracantha coccinea. I believe the species is coccinea. There might be a couple other species, but pretty sure ours would be, most of the ornamental ones are coccinea. People, their fall colors, so beautiful. Oh, I'm low-key jealous. Yeah, I think these are deodars. Ooh, this one's even got a cone in the tree. Oh, never mind. I thought it was a cone. It's just a leaf. Yeah, the horses. Yeah, really beautiful place. And of course, talking about the scarlet firethorn, the pure contact we've seen here. I'll also mention the relatives, the actual apple trees. Malus pumila. And here's that Gooding's black willow again, changing color for autumn. So this is just about ready to end another hike out here in Southern California. Awesome place this is. I cannot recommend this enough. It's such a wonderful place. But yeah, I think these are deodar cedars, Cedrus deodara. I think that's what these are. They don't really super glaucous. I still have trouble telling them from Atlas cedars. Now these are the true cedars. I was talking about incense cedars earlier in the video, that incense cedars are not true cedars, and incense cedars are in the cypress family. These are true cedars in the genus Cedrus, and they're in the pine family. Because most people think of cedars being like junipers or cypresses, incense cedar, and stuff like that. However, true cedars are in the genus Cedrus and they're in the pine family. I smell it. I can start smelling again. Well, just about to get back to the car. One last native tree for the road. Quercus agrifolia varioxyadania, southern coast live oak. Got acorns. So, and there are the apple orchards of Julian. Awesome place. So this is going to do it for my video. Hope you enjoyed coming along. Hopefully I was able to give you a more interpretive video about the conditions, the scenery, the beauty here, and hoping next week to get into yet another adventure. Next week I have 3 days off in a row, Thanksgiving being one of them. I got lucky. I won the jackpot this time. Probably won't around Christmas, so I'm going to make sure I get out on multiple hikes for this one, because I'm going to be out for 3 days. So I'm planning on enjoying the heck out of that. Thanks for watching. Farmer Road. There's Winola Road over there. This is about it. I'll see you on the next adventure, and thanks for watching.